Hey everybody, Greg here at Videomaker. Today I have in my hands, for a limited time only, the Panasonic GH4. Now, why do we love the GH4? Well, it shoots 4K. It's mirrorless, it's a micro 4/3 mount, so there's a little bit of a crop factor there, but it shoots 4K. In fact, it shoots multiple flavors of 4K. It shoots UHD, which is the 16:9 aspect ratio, and it does that at 100 megabits per second, which is super fast. And you can also do that at 23976 or 2997. Now it also shoots DCI 4K at 100 megabits per second, and that is at a true 24 frames per second, not 23976, 24 frames per second. So for you people that are really intent on playing your film in the theater, that's gonna be awesome for you. So, image quality, what does it look like? Does it look cool? We took some footage, check it out. All right, so now that you've seen what this thing can do, I was very impressed with the image quality. I've shot other 4K cameras and this one just felt right. It doesn't have any of the negative things of some other 4K cameras. It just shoots like a regular DSLR. Everything else is the same. It just happens to be in 4K, which I really like. So we weren't really thinking about it when we were shooting. So it shoots to SD cards, all the different flavors of SD cards actually, but if you want to shoot 4K on it, you have to have a class 3. So on the card, it has to have this U with a 3 in it. Don't confuse that with the C with a number in it. That's a different class. So you want that U with a 3 in it, and then it shoots 4K onto the card. Now onto the card, it's gonna shoot 4208-bit, which, okay, maybe that's a detriment, but it can send out 422, 8, or 10-bit via the HDMI. And then of course we have this interface unit we're gonna talk about in a second that does a whole lot more than that. So it's got an OLED flip out viewfinder, and then also you can just right there. And what else? It's got an 1/8" mic input, so if you just need to run one mic in or you wanna use a field mixer with it, that's great. You can turn auto gain control off, so no problems there. It's got some cool video features too. So some DSLRs kind of feel like a still camera that added video functionality. This thing has zebras, so old school camcorder shooters are really gonna appreciate that, or people who are using, hacked software on other cameras, no need to do that. It's got focus peaking. It also has variable frame rates, and what that's gonna do is allow you to shoot in camera, and it's gonna produce a file that's already in slow motion or fast motion or time lapse, so you don't even have to do anything with it in post, which is really cool. Now let's talk about this interface unit that you can purchase for it. The interface unit is basically designed to make this thing like a professional video camera setup. It's got 2 XLR inputs on the side. I'm gonna open that up right here. 2 XLR inputs, this is for power. And then it has 4 BNC hookups. One of these is for timecode. Now, what are these BNC hookups? It's got 2 3G SDI BNC connectors and 2 HD SDI BNC connectors, and then also the timecode in. So what does this allow you to do? Well, it allows you to do quad link SDI 4K video in 422 10-bit, which is awesome. It also allows you to do dual link 422 10-bit for 1080p up to 60 frames per second, or if you need it, 4 simultaneous 1080p streams up to 30 frames per second, and all that is with timecode. So, obviously I'm gonna call it a downside, but really it's sort of to be expected. When you're doing all of that, you can't actually record to the SD card as well if you're doing the 10-bit version of it. So just be aware of that. But it's got dedicated audio controls for 2 separate channels. You can do line mic, you can do 48 volt for phantom power. And it just connects on the bottom. And so, this thing runs $2 grand. So, this really is for pros. This isn't gonna be for your just average everyday shooter. But without it, this guy, $16.99 for a 4K mirrorless DSLR micro 4/3 camera. So there you have it. This is just the first look. We're gonna have a full review eventually, but we basically had this thing for about 8 hours. So this is our just very first hands-on. I'm Greg with Videomaker. We'll see you next time.